IWM pump, IWM puts 6 minutes before that tweet released. $6 million worth of puts on IWM. 6 minutes before the tweet released. Kind of crazy. All right. I'm going to start with my call-outs, Uranus's. No, I don't think anyone's paying him. I think he's just kind of fucking doing it, and then he's letting people know before he does it. Okay. So I didn't even trade New York today. I just traded fucking the overnight. I'm going to the gym, but I watched for value area high to hold at 41.18. This was yesterday before close. Right at reopen, I just traded back towards this New York high. And then I tried to short up here when it was stalling out. I had like less than 2.5 points of risk on this. Got stopped on this. And then buyers off VWAP. I got in on this trade as well. Any ideal trade for New York GC session? Yeah, I can cover it. Would like to see GC, this was this morning, would like to see GC hold up at the bottom end of this range. We did. Seen some resistance up here. IB high broke. I'd like to see a retrace 41.30 to 41.35 for longs, and QIB high break as well. Looks strong. Would look for a retrace to get in more sustaining value after tapping back into the gap, so might not get it. So on GC today, if I'm looking for the ideal trade, we already broke IB high here. We held above VWAP and we come back down. We have strong selling into this VWAP, but look at the volume here. You have a large red candle with barely any volume on it. That should get inversed, right? This should get reversed on. We come down, we tap VWAP, buyers start to show up. This is where you want to get in, and then just take it to the highs if you're looking for a retrace. Not necessarily ideal, but that's the trade I would look for after. And then NQ, this really just rallied up to true day. It just rallied up to true day. That would have been final TP if you traded this. Tapped into that gap, based out, rallied again, gives you a small retrace in here, continues to rally. This stalled out right up at true day. But yeah, I think everything's fine here. The short was a little rushed on my end. But my accounts are doing decent. These are solid. So this account up 70. I have 7% win rate, 1.8. This is what my stats used to look like. I finally took some losers on this. And then this account around the same, 54% win rate. Higher RR though. P&L curve's nice on this, and then my my Tradeify looks about the same. I just took a pad on these. Took a pad on these two. This win rate is abysmal. This was from over trading last week. The RR makes up for it though, so it's not too big of a deal. This was this over trading in here and in here. That's where the win rate just sinks. Did they approve payout? Yeah. Tradeify approved payout pretty quick. I have another one I can request tomorrow on, I just need a winning day. But overall, doing well. Let me see what Uranus did really quick. I know Jaren took a couple trades. So Uranus. Bullish on NQ tonight, expecting it to touch 970s. There isn't much volume right now to take the trade though. This ended up ripping up. I don't know if you took the trade off that. And you just tapped in potential resistance consolidation zone. Might just hang out here till we get some news tomorrow. No more trades for me, but looks like we can recover from Friday's drop sometime this week. Bearing any more negative news. I like that. We did just get negative news. So, yeah, where do we run up to? Last night, we were looking for 970s. 970s hit. Stalled out at 25,000, just under 25,000. Comes up, retests this upper band after it's broken below it, and then falls off a cliff. Are they 150Ks? Yeah, they're 150Ks. Let's look at trade review. I'm assuming there's some good trades in here. I saw some people in premium. Dylan, Asian win after loss and slippage trailed and might run a bit better this time on 5 minute and then 3 minute. Thought 5 minute was too big. 0.28 fib with support from previous highs, failing lows. About 4 to 5 R trade. Shit ripped like 3 minutes after I got out. Keeps going without me. Yeah, this is just stop adjustment, bro. This is really just stop adjustment. Like you could have just left your stop there at that strong 5 minute. You could leave it there too. It depends. Are we scalping here or are we holding for momentum? If we're holding for momentum, then you don't want to adjust your stop up that quickly. If you're holding for momentum, don't adjust the stop up that quickly. If you're scalping, I think that's appropriate. You're just seeing how much you can squeeze out of it. Yeah, this was the trade. If I adjust it based off strong 5 minute, boom, rips. And this ripped up to 41.90. So we got in at 41. That's almost 70-point trade, dude. That's like $7,000 with the size that you're using. Or wait, you had 2 minis on. That would have been 14 racks, bro. That's crazy. And you can always scale one off, right? If you're using multiple contracts, you can scale some off too, Dylan. So you were in drawdown. You were in drawdown. This is an excellent entry on your part. You were in drawdown. $400. When I'm up, how much do I need to be up to get out of my drawdown? I need to be up 6 points. If I'm up 6 points, just take one off. Then you have the winning day. You have the winning day. And not only do you have the winning day, your stop's also in profit. You're out of drawdown. Clean. This is a good trade for a scalp. But if you want to move away from scalping, then yeah, you have to. You can't adjust your stop that quickly. Yeah, you're zoomed too far in. Okay. Break even on anchored VWAP bounce. An MGC last night. You got break even on this? Okay. Got right back in when I saw another bounce at anchored VWAP. It ran to TP. First step in the right direction for my XFA, plus my fib is anchored right this time. Okay, yeah. This first one, I'm cool with this first one. This first one looks fine. Buying it on the breakout. Stops at break even. You're up 6 points. So maybe we secure a little bit of that. If this is going to breach these highs, all right, I'm probably moving my stop to this wick, or this candle. Depends on where you want to be at. But that's how I would personally manage it. I'm fine with the break even on this though. I think it's fine. Got right back in. So you got your original entry was. So you got about 1 point off your original entry. So not really that bad. And just looked for highs. I think that's clean. And then I would bring this stop up to where that wick is once this looks like it's going to break out. Good first day in the XFA though. Pre-trade idea, overall market structure is bullish, looking to get in at low volume node, support zones to get confirmed by order flow or scalp with aggressive stop. On shorts at resistance, watching previously defended low volume node at 41.43, had 23 passive buyers. I want to see price go into generate positive big delta or big passive buyers. Longed at 41.46, stopped at 41.46.9, 41.47 pretty much due to lack of interest. Short on previous high, like I mentioned, I was going to be very aggressive with stop. After seeing consolidation at previous high, I hit a quick 2R. Stuck to my plan of not writing shorts for too long. Had the opportunity because it was an easy scalp. Okay. A lot of buyers up in that region. So this initial trade, took this at 41.45. Got stopped for 1 point on that. I think this is an appropriate scalp to take if you're just looking for like 2 points, 2 to 5 points, but like the bigger trade is just in the longs, right? This comes down to the area you wanted and it bounced out of there. And then it rips up. It's fine. This is fine for a scalp, but like 2 points is not a lot. If you're quick with the stops and you're just fine with taking 2 points, that's okay. Tried to long based off reaction to value area high and upper band gotten early on the candle. Got stopped 1 to 1.3 RR. 5 NGC, 5 points of risk, probably forced. Haven't been on the charts at all tonight. Got on and took a trade. Okay. Yeah, I want to see the reaction on this candle. Because this is the first time it's tapping that upper band. I don't know if it's going to hold. Like, we break out above the upper band. It taps it once. You react, but you don't go higher. So when it taps and reacts like that, I want to see it go higher. I want to see it breach these highs. When it comes back down again, we just enter here. We need to be getting as close to this band as we can. And then this dips down to VWAP, and it runs. Tried again at VWAP. Got stopped, hit DLL. This, we're just in a little bit too early. Like, we don't have a wide enough stop for this. Because if I'm looking at last night, I'm assuming it's this trade, right? And another thing with this upper band trade, the previous time we tried to push above the upper band, what happened? We failed. We tried to push up above the upper band again. We can't sustain. So this here, right? This is the trade I want to take. This is the candle you got stopped on. Your stop just wasn't wide enough. If you took it on this next candle, you would have been fine. So you can wait for that second candle to come out. Or you can wait for, okay, now we've got 4 green candles in a row. It's looking nice. Then you get your little retrace. I can get in here. 55s, 56, somewhere in there. Yeah, and now that this is riding above the upper band, right, once this starts riding above the upper band, it's showing it's sustaining. Now I can take those upper band tests. Right, I can take this here now. This is the same trade you were trying to take right here. But now we have confirmation that there's buyers above this upper band. Back here, right, this failed at the upper band, failed at the upper band, failed at the upper band. Now there's confirmation above the upper band. Dips down to the upper band, taps it, continues to rally. And then we get this weird fucking sell-off here. So, but this would be clean for an upper band tap. It runs 20 points. First red day in a week. How red we talking? Yeah, so being impatient. Another XAU banger for you, Bart. TP hit. Okay. I like this jack. Good management on this as well. We're not going for a crazy target either. I'd say the stop is a little tight, but you're near your TP, so it's fine. If I'm looking to ride this out for a really high target, I'm putting my stop here. $48. Minus $48 for a red day. That's not bad, bro. You're chilling. You're chilling, bro. This is a good trade, Jack. I like this. Right in at, where is this? I think your VWAP might be slightly off because it's XAU. The VWAP on XAU USD is going to be wrong. Just keep a note on that because it's a 4x. It's a 4x exchange, so not all your volume's on the same exchange like the futures are. So this VWAP is going to be slightly wrong. GC stopped coming down in previous value area high. VWAP low volume node 382 high time frame wait for bullish wick. So entered long. Final target session VWAP but heavy downtrend. Gonna take partials at EMA lower band. See if we push through. Wait to hit TP. If I start to get some momentum, I'm gonna take another partial at VWAP lower runner and win for true day open. Trail aggressively. Last contract is 2 minute confluence for short. Sorry for so many picks, but almost 2 hour trade. Want to show management. That's okay. Okay, 41.15. Okay, coming back down into this value area high. There's a little, yep, okay. I see the confluences. And this to me, it's hard to long here. This is a really hard long to take. But I like how you waited, right? You didn't take it right here. If you took it right here, I wouldn't like this, but it's come down there, it's wicked, comes back down there, wicks again, and then you get that strong bullish price action. Right, I'm assuming you took this right off this wick, like after this wicked out and this candle's forming. I'm okay with this. Good management. Good management. Because since this is so bearish, like, we want to be a little bit tighter with the stops. And then this is just grinding up. Pops. Good management. Dude, excellent trade. Excellent fucking trade, bro. That's a fucking gravy trade, bro. This is a fucking gravy trade, bro. This is one of them. I know there's probably some other ones in here. But that's a fucking gravy trade, bro. Because imagine, like, you just captured 40 points on that. Now, if we're using, as we scale up, right? If we're using 2 minis on that, that's insane. Are we risking a lot more? Yeah, we are. We would risk like 2 grand on that, but you could make 8 grand. 10 minis? Yeah, that's 40 G's, bro. That's 40 G's. It's the same trade you would take here, just with more size. I'm assuming we scaled on the breakout here. Yeah, as this is starting to move up, yeah, I think that's a fine scale. Because you're taking it off what? You took your first scale when you're up 25 points. That's clean, bro. Clean. Took your first scale at 2R. Great trade. Took a 6-point scalp to pass combine. And good analysis, too. Good analysis with that value area high, low volume node, all of that. And since it's a heavy downtrend, the management needs to be on point. If you're taking reversal trades on gold, your management needs to be on point, and it was. So, good stuff. Took 6-point scalps to pass combine. Asia had pretty big sell-off and was strongly recovering, breaking strong above VWAP. Silver was also strongly getting bought up. So I decided for a more bullish bias framing, wait for VWAP retest, and a strong 5-minute print. DKY top step X was lagging 1 candle behind. Picture is on 1 minute, so it's better visible. Executed and framed on 5-minute and 3-minute for print as confirmation to watch momentum. I have no pictures of management. But I went break even fast and trailed, not too tight, so I get the pass without getting stopped. Framing management, entry bias. I need to wake up on time for London session. Been a long time after many tilt and full port days that I pass a combine without heavier size. Okay, very nice, Siki. Nice. Clean scalp. Clean scalp. This is the same leg that we were just looking at. We just waited for that VWAP tap. Where do we get in at? Yeah, once it starts moving back up, yeah, dude, super clean. Praying for Zeki's downfall. Nah, don't pray for Zeki's downfall. We love Zeki here, bro. Look at these stats. These stats are clean. Okay, now Zeki. Going into this XFA. What are we gonna do on our risk tools? What I would do is I would go through these stats. DLL is already set up. Oh, you already have the XFA. What size we're using on this combine, bro? What size we're using? 1 mini. Okay. So let's not go over 1 mini. And you're scalping, so you know what to do, bro. Paper trade. Asia closed green. So I waited for London to do the same. Previous rejection from 786, anchored to yesterday's London low. Also rejection from value area low, broke through lower band. So when I opened my position, forgot to set TP and stop loss. I just want to know if the frame movement was right and what I should improve on. Okay, up 19,000 ticks, 18,500 ticks. Yeah, so this was the sell-off from Asia. You gained that breakthrough, that lower, yeah, that's a strong breakthrough on this lower band. When you see that strong momentum on the lower band, when it breaks through like that, that's usually a good indication for a bullish price action. When you see these strong breakthrough lower band or strong breakthrough upper band, 25% off any combine. That's their big announcement. I thought it was gonna be something else. I thought it was gonna be something else. Let me post this in updates really quick. Yeah, it looks like only one. Oh, I sent it twice. Oopsie. Yeah, no, the framing on this is correct, but you should have that stop loss and that TP. We should also be using the same size that we're going to use on a challenge in regards to this. Like, we should always be using the same size as whatever challenge we're doing. L on MGC dumb trade because Fit was anchored the wrong way. Should have been looking for shorts, honestly. What time is this at? Yeah, because this is, you want to look for shorts for the London double break. Yeah, so this is up here. This London, like, we want to shoot for the London double break. 7 in the morning Eastern. I'm assuming it's Eastern. But yeah, this London low, right, set within the first 15 minutes, and it didn't double break. I want to trade towards this London double break, if I'm available, if I have the opportunity to. And this, right, failed to break above these highs. Start coming down to your VWAP. This VWAP bounce looks weak. Comes down again, right? Gives us a nice retest. We can get in on this candle. We can get in like anywhere in this range, pretty much, after this candle forms, and just our stop above that candle or above these candles. Either one works. And then I just want to TP right at London low. Hell on GC, locked out for the rest of the day, down 48 bucks, lost all my profits. It's okay, bro, it's gonna happen. Another thing you can do, Clutch, is you can use that trailing drawdown feature, so you keep a certain amount. But 35 bucks ain't bad, dude. It's okay. Maybe we're a little anxious trading the. We're maybe a little anxious trading the XFA. Because how many trades are you usually posted in trade review? Like 2 or 3? Now there's like 4 or 5 in here. So you realized it was shorts a little too late, and then I'm assuming you got stopped on this. And for this, right, we can use smaller size and target these lows. Smaller size, target these lows, and have a wider stop on it. Got in late, ran to TB after. Well, your trade idea was valid then. It's just our stop is too tight. Paper value area low, VWAP on gold, quick 1.5 to 1, bullish reaction off VWAP and value area low. Okay, are we on 15 minute? I hope so. This. Where are we at on this? I'm not sure where we're at on this, but I personally wouldn't try this just because that London low hasn't been swept. I'm assuming this is 15. This was yesterday. Was this not yesterday? It's hard for me to tell without the prices to the right. Where's this? No, this looks like today. I'm not sure. But if this London low hasn't swept, I don't want to take this trade. This value area low was holding pre-market with VWAP, lower band of VWAP. Yeah, this looks fine to me. Quick sale, demo, framing, waited for bullish, close out value area low and short-term support. Didn't want it to bottom tick. It's hard to bottom tick on GC. So wait for that close. Good job, Ziki. Short-term support, didn't want to bottom tick. Had a huge ass stop because I wanted to experiment with building position, but my limit didn't get filled. Captured about 15 points. Management, bias framing, huge stop. A huge stop is not bad necessarily. Not bad necessarily, depends on our position sizing. Once you see this strong bullish confirmation here, right, we just want to bring our stop up. But you got a great entry on this, Ziki. 426. Could have been a little bit better on the entry side, but I don't hate the entry. Probably had what? How big was the stop? Like 10 points? I'm assuming like 10 points. This is clean though. Just for a quick scalp, back up to VWAP. That's right where we saw price kind of start to, like, that's where we got this 15-minute print. It was struggling at that VWAP, so perfect trade. Getting out right at VWAP. And I was calling that on live. I was like, we're probably going to struggle up here. We struggle initially, push up, above it, hold it, and then we continue to move up. I would expect this New York, if you guys are trading reopen for Asia, I expect this high to sweep. Yeah, you shouldn't be trying to trade 3 sessions. Clutch. It's gonna be too much. You're gonna lose sleep over it. If you're losing sleep over it, it's not good, bro. New York AM. I personally just trade Asia and New York. Like, those are the 2 I like to trade, and I just trade gold for both of them. Rob, killer trade, bro. 3 micros, nice rejection on a new week open gap, dumped like 500 points overnight, so I want to see some sort of retracement. Not gonna lie, felt like the vibes were bullish. Saw a 250 point banger at ARR to start out the week. Had small stop losses, price heading lower would invalidate my idea. Remain super patient while in the trade. Held for close to an hour. Goes to show anyone can bank with low size if they have the right conviction and entry. Shout out Jose for sticking in the trade with me. Good shit, bro. Excellent trade. And I know you had your... I saw the management. You were posting it in the live. Very clean, bro. Very clean. And this continued to run. If your target was true day, I'm sure you would have held this. But you were just shooting for a 1500 on the combine. This is an excellent trade, Rob. Excellent fucking trade. This would have ran for fucking 400 points, dude. A12 bias bullish, high time frame fib, 32 true day above 76%. New week open rejection. Don't see a reason why we keep dumping as cheap price to, especially buy for retail. Trade duration 1 hour. MNQ 2 contracts. Trying to get out of drawdown. Okay. Said the account was very patient during the trade and trailed stop with 15-minute wicks. Rode EMA. Moment seller started to step into high time frame low volume knowing gain. Below EMA, I exited my first contract. First contract was exit at 0.3 extension. Okay, valid. High probability we continue higher, but I exited there because 50% chance to retrace to 380. Okay, also valid. I didn't... No, I think this is valid. This is valid. Valid thinking here on the scales. Like, this is where we... And we started to stall out for... Right before Powell was speaking, right? We stalled out for like an hour or so. Price stalled out for... Where was it? NQ. We stalled out from 10:25 to 3:35, so we stalled out for an hour. I think it's valid to take that trade off. This is a good trade. Long NQ, TP, first TP, New York AM high, final TP, London high, order flow, 2K day. Everyone's taking the same fucking trade. Everyone's taking like the same fucking trade. Good shit, Elaine. Good shit. Plus 150 on the day, 1L, 2 stops and profit. Took an L, trying to long at VWAP. Took a W, re-entered off that long because I liked it and stopped in profit. Saw price react again. Entered one more time. Context is I'm bullish on GC and we tapped into it. Checked off weekly VWAP and value rate low. Same area we rejected out of. Give me a bullish bias. Wait for IB to take entries. I don't know if I trailed good or not. I was originally conservative with my stops, but when I saw price stall out near value area high and we rejected out previously, I trailed aggressive. I think that's fine. It's appropriate to trail. On this, we just could have gotten a bit more out of this. Like when this is stalling out up here, like this is a nice push. This is a nice push. I don't like this entry. I don't like this entry. I'm fine with this entry. This entry looks good. I would bring the stop to the wick. If we're going for momentum and high targets, then we're gonna have to sit in the trade for a while. If you're going for a quick scalp, Taking it off up here near these highs is okay. Taking it off up at this push, this failed push up here, that's also okay. And then this next trade, you start to get the momentum again. I think this is another fine trade to take. It's just the entry's a little high, in my opinion. Because if I'm looking, 5 minute, right, we're buying right here. When this is back down towards VWAP. Or are we buying here? Or are we buying this out? So I'm assuming this is your VWAP. Okay. Yeah, I don't love this third trade. So this first trade, I think the entry's high. This one I think is good. This one's good. But when there's not the momentum there, we can either scalp it. We can scalp it or be more conservative with the stops. It depends. Are we looking for momentum or are we just looking for a quick move? All right. And then this one, I don't love this one, but since you were tight with your stops, I think it's fine. And then you get the ideal trade down here off that VWAP, and then you get that strong momentum coming in. MGC long win, Jose. This is the same as Rob's trade. True Day is above us. Wasn't trade through in London. Okay, good confluence. Looks like we respected resistance area. Low volume node, 1 hour FEG. Now we reached the new week open and previous day low. Gotta wait and see if we bounce out here to continue to fill the gap. Did think of shorting at first just because of the bearish momentum off open. We even created bearish LVN. I saw that get disrespected and held as a bullish low volume node. This was my entry confluence. Resweep of initial low that reached the new week open gap. Wanted price to recover and at least rebalance to the 5-minute FEGs. What did price retrace to? Initial bearish low volume node that got disrespected and overlapping big buyers. You can see this as an inverse low volume node or simply a bullish low volume node. Yeah, don't use this. I don't use this inverse low volume node shit. Like, to me, it's a low volume node. Either it's a low volume node or it's not a low volume node. It's not a fucking inverse low volume node, you know? Jared, yo, Jared, were you the one who came up with the inverse low volume node?
Carmine has said it multiple times.
Carmine said it. Okay, I don't like that. Personally, me, I don't like that. To me, it's just a low volume node.
I've heard Carmine say it. I've heard Andre Asibi say it. I've heard all of them say it.
I don't like that, though. It's just a low volume node at the end of the day. Okay, anyway. Just use it as a low volume. It's the same. No, Jaren said it's recorded. Well, find the recording, Ziggy. I think it's just a marketing thing because it's still just a low volume node. Nothing changes about it, unless you're determining the inverse based off how many buyers or sellers are in that region. Maybe you had a lot of sellers in that region at first, and then when you push through it, now you've got more buyers in there. Then I guess you could classify it as now it's an inverse low volume node, but then you're getting into semantics and it's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, Dylan came with the receipts, bro. Dylan, how'd you find that shit so quick, bro? You failed selling at the lows, inverted. Okay. Okay. You failed selling at the lows. Low volume node respected as bullish. Both CVD and price made a higher low. Okay, clean. Good analysis. Stop loss was swing low. TP at London highs. First trail was off a strong 5-minute that reached 5-minute FEG's trail to its low. Second trail was after seeing price stall out. Second 5-minute FEG trail to break even. Continued to trail in 5-minute wicks as we got more momentum and we were hitting targets. Near the end, I started getting more aggressive with my trailing before hitting TP. Price got 6 ticks close to my stop loss, then it ripped. Let myself get too high because of the bullish momentum. I extended my TP to 0.6 extension of 45-minute IB simply because it was 5RR. Realized the lack of logic, readjusted to London high. Even though it was a banger trade, I still need to keep my emotions in check. Overall, great trade. Okay. Some greed did show up, but that's okay. It's going to happen, but you came to realize, okay, this might be a little irrational. If you're targeting that London high, this is where, like, you caught a nice entry, you caught great momentum. You're targeting a 0.6 extension for 5RR. Don't look at the RR amount. Just look at what's reasonable. If the London high seemed reasonable, take it. If True Day Open seemed reasonable, take it. But, like, if if you were taking this trade and you were like, okay, I want to scale out the London high, and then leave a runner for true day open. I took this exact trade with options today. I got out. I'm going to show you where I got out at on most of my contracts, but then I held one runner for true day. Once this keeps printing, okay. I got out right here. Right? I got out of most of my contracts up here. And then I held one runner for true day. So you can do something similar with futures. I'm assuming that's where I almost stopped you out. Yeah, this stop's a bit tight. Like, we're a bit tight on this stop, and there's not really a reason for the stop to be there until that pivot forms. Right? So if we're looking for those big trades, like, we need to be more loose with the stops. But I think this is a great trade. Up 1,000. Very nice. You've almost passed this account. Clean. Good analysis. Great entry. Great exit. Yeah, you could exit one up here. Just move your stop to this pivot low. There's not really a reason to move it to this pivot low until it forms. So that's the one like caveat I have. And then you could take one off up here and then target true day with the other one. We bought the dip and I scalped 6-7. Got a limit at resistance for a fillback framing entry management. Could have trailed tighter. Okay, so you got in at 50s. You got in at 56. Okay, so you got in up here. I like that. Like, this is right where London came up to. I'm cool with this, Ziki. I'm cool with this. It's at 6.7 points. Could have trailed tighter. I think this is fine, bro. Like, there's no reason to trail tighter on this. This is pretty fucking tight, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is too tight. For me, at least, that's how I trade. But if you're scalping, then maybe this is perfectly fine for you. Long loss. Move my stop too fast because Pal talking was good setup. POC 3-2 New York. Session review off the line. Volume ledge. No, I haven't traded before any big news. So I didn't know what to do, but it's okay. I got worked out because of the dumb decision. Now I know not to look for anything before news. Okay, so stop is there. We just adjusted it. It's too tight. Yeah, this stop's really tight. It's really tight. You have this big drop. I think this entry's good, Adrian. This entry's good, but our stop should be looser on this. Even this initial stop. It's too tight. It's too tight. I want to have my stop, especially like we're shooting for the highs, 11 points. We can put on a little bit more risk here. Like, if I'm in here, my stop, like, you got a killer entry on this. My stop's probably going to be like right here off this low, and you might target here, or you might target the upper band, or you might even target true day. True day is really far, but like, you have multiple options here, Adrian. I think the stop's too tight. Stop's too tight. Just wanted to make a setup for myself. This was so unnecessary. Yeah, you got stopped out on that last one, so this is probably just a revenge trade. High time frame 618. We hit true day also 28,900. That was a psych level, but it isn't. No. So on like NASDAQ, the big psych level right now is going to be 25,000. 25, like 24,900. Not a big psych level. 25,000, big psych level. It's different. Yeah, this just looks rushed. Looks a little rushed. Just after losing. 200 points long with 1 micro. Had this zone marked out from September. Saw PA dip into this zone. Fill news gap. Took a small risk with 1 micro. Original TP was true day, but got out when it was stalling at London highs. Missed out on 4K. Usually use 5 micros, but oh well. Damn. Fucking bottom tick that bitch. Andrew, no explanation on this. This is on ES. You're on the daily chart, so I can't really see where the entry is. This TP's pretty far. I would say this TP's very far. Your management's tight, though. This is a nice trade, but I just don't know the reasoning. Comment 6. Trade got stopped on versus the trade I wanted to take. Wasn't a mean. I think I could have waited for one more confluence, as it was the only reaction and rejection multiple times at that point. 3 prompted me to take this trade as it kept retesting that level and rejecting. There's a section picture that I didn't take, had the confluences sustaining under upper band value area high in 0.6. Okay, so we shorted this. Yeah, here we've just pushed through the lower band with momentum, and we're sustaining. We're sustaining. Good. And then this, yeah, I like this trade a lot more. Alizé, this first one, I think this is just a rush trade. And then this one's clean. I like this trade. Your stops managed, your target's reasonable. This one, there's not really anything that indicates for me to short here. Feeling pressured recently. Okay. Yeah, I still need to check my DM from you. Just power hour, wasn't sure because the stop was 40 points, but the volatility is really high today. Don't know what happened, but that 120 point candle hit my TP. Okay, the basis of this trade makes sense based off power hour. Oh, Ultra's back in here, bro. I haven't seen this guy in a minute. I think those stop adjustments a little tight, especially since you're on 1 micro, but I like the basis of it. Going to open bullish. I'm going to enter on that first push. I miss it. Enter off 0.6 fib and stupid move too soon. Stop loss and profit. Got stopped. Next 2 trades was FOMO trying to catch what I missed was all in demo. Good. The analysis was good. Cons scared to enter, and then miss entry and FOMO. Okay. Well, you're on demo, so if we're on demo, we shouldn't really be fearing like missing it. It should just be like we should just be taking the trades. Just take the trades and see what's working well, what's not. Okay. Quickly up. We're short up here. I don't love this short because it's sustaining above VWAP on this. Like this short here, we're sustaining above VWAP. We were previously in a long. We were too tight, and our IB high broke, so our TP's really far. Immediately coming in is hilarious. Yeah, and you have no sellers in this market either. Like you're not really seeing big sells come in, and when they do, they're getting bought up pretty quick. Okay. I would just go into tomorrow. Like we don't need to, because like this is a clean long, bro. We just trailed a little too tight because like that open on New York on GC, it's going to be volatile now. You used the wrong there, Ultra, so you kind of deserve it, bro. New York longs after highest 5-minute London buy candle is defended. Wait patiently for execution as I wanted to see New York VWAP closure, at least low time for structure shift. Targeting London highs, 30 points scaled out, 80% 2R as always. Safe. Clean. Very clean, bro. Yeah, we swept out that London low, and then we start to come back above. This is clean. Start to come back above that lower band with strength, and then we give a retest, hold it. Yeah, super clean trade, bro. Baron only talks to green tags. Nah, I talk to Clutch, bro. Clutch ain't a green tag. Ultra's not a green tag. Did I get that last winning day? I got one more. I got one more $250 winning day, and then $7,500 payout. And then yeah, has anyone been to a strip club? I'm 19 and want to see what it's like. We'll go soon after payout. I've never been to one, so personally, nah. Hit one of my key levels. Swept weekly gap on New York or on NQ. Okay, so initial entry 440. We took some partials at 60, and then we took more partials at 56. So almost a little over 100 points. 1400 plus 1400. You could have just held this all the way up for the $1,500 winning day. There's no reason to close this. That momentum's really strong. You can just move your stop and profit. Took the swing. I made some money. Then I over leveraged the fuck out of that short after a swing trade. I almost lost everything I made. Then I got W on 4 lots. I'm still red for the day. This is on crude. Yeah, dude, this is where leverage burns. Because you go from, this is why you need to have like a scaling plan where it's like, I'm going to use this size till I'm at this buffer, or I'm at this much money. Because if I use too much size, like if I use all the size I can very quickly, you can wipe it all out in one trade. This initial short you got stopped on, and then you re-entered. So this pushes past POC, then it fails above it, comes back below it, struggles above it again, comes back to below. I honestly would like short this when this has given me confirmation that it's holding below POC. TP stop loss here, so you short it again, and then we short it again. This looks like revenge trading to me, bro. What's a good risk plan? I went through that on the risk management class on Saturday. Who else had that? Alphas, Jose, and Elaine. I'll take the same trade. Oh, how can I see that? It was just for a live session. But scaling plan, I can break it down really quick. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, and I don't know if I'm still on slow markets tonight. I want to go nap, and I have to read some emails. So if you want to be aggressive, 5 to 10 micros to 4K to 5K. So this depends on like where you're. Like if you aren't comfortable with dynamic sizing, just use 5. Just use 5 micros here. If you're comfortable with dynamic sizing, be open to using 10. Right? It depends where the risk is. You want to give yourself around 8 trades. So you would take your balance and divide it by like 8, or you can use this. Right? You can use this chart. I use this to personally like define how many trades I should have before I blow the account. So you would take like if you've got a 50K. You got a 50K. You have a 50K account. You have a 2K max loss limit. Let's say you've got a 50% win rate. I'm going to look to have 8 trades. So you take your 2,000, divide it by 8, gives you 250 a trade. So that's how much you should be risking. And then it's the same thing once you get a buffer. Like let's say you're up at 4 or 5K after payout. If I'm at 4,000, I want to give myself 8 trades. Now I have 500 to play with. So I just define my size based off how much risk I want to take on. If I'm at 10K, divide by 8, I'd probably give myself even more trades here, right? 1250, that's a lot of risk. So if I'm at 10K, I might just say, okay, I'm gonna give myself 12, right? 800, I'm comfortable with that risk. Yeah. All right, I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go read this emails. I'm gonna read some emails. But yeah, good work. He sent me something on DM. All right, I'll see you guys.